This conference will now be recorded.
Hi all. So welcome to day 30 of the JMeter session, and currently we are discussing timers, right? So yesterday we have seen four timers, right? These four timers. Then their use, then use of think time, and many important aspects related to this, right? And some other topics. Now today we'll see two more timer which are left. So the next timer is synchronizing timer. Okay. This timer is used to simulate Black Friday or Big Billion Days scenario. Okay, Black Friday or Big Billion Day scenario, or also known as spike testing. Spike testing is a kind of performance testing, right? So spike testing, where certain load is put on the application for certain scenarios, right? At a time. At a time. Certain load means huge load. So synchronizing timer of JMeter is the rendezvous point concept of load runner. You can say that, right? In load runner, we have rendezvous concept, rendezvous point concept. Same thing is done, or same stuff is achieved in JMeter using synchronizing timer. Rendezvous point means meeting at a point, right? Now synchronizing timer or rendezvous point concept is used to create Black Friday type of scenario. Black Friday is type of scenario where we put instant user load on certain set of transactions or request, right? Now examples will be a Redmi phone getting sold on Amazon, right? So we get advertisement, or not Flipkart also, right? It occurs very often. We'll see now also they are going to host some sale, okay, from 8th of I think 8th of this April. Okay, so sale will happen. So at that time, what will happen? Some product will be getting sold, which have a gateway time of that particular period only. Suppose on Wednesday at 12 p.m. the sale will start. Right. So at that time, what will happen? Whoever is interested in buying that product, they will rush, and whole product will be sold within 2 to 3 minutes, not more than that, right? So that is the sudden rush coming on the server, right, for a certain period of time. And in that case, what happens? Most of the transaction involved in that process is done almost at same time. Then only it is getting that stock, that product is going out of stock in that less period of time, right? Less period of time. Then we have RCTC Tatkal booking system at 10 a.m., right, for AC, or 11 a.m. for sleep. So this is the biggest, I think, ticket booking system in world, where there is a rush at every day at 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. to book the ticket, which gets again sold in 2 to 3 minutes, not more than that, right? For any train in India, right? For any train in India. So this, how much rush can be there, right? You can see. Now, so what synchronizing timer does, it blocks the user and releases them all at once. Okay, thus creating a large load at same instance. Fine, same instant. This is very helpful to test how the application handles simultaneous request, a kind of spike performance testing, right? Spike performance testing. Now this timer has two attributes, and how it works we'll see. So this timer, the synchronizing timer, along with that common mode timer, constant throughput timer, they are generally used or placed at controller level or thread group level. Right, means direct children of a simple controller, we can say, or direct children of thread group. Right, they are best used. So uh, first, what I'll do, I'll show you the normal flow. Okay. So let me run 10 users. for 5 seconds. Ramp up is 5 seconds. Means 2 user per second, right? Per second will be ramped up if this is the case. So in 1 second, two users. So total in 5 seconds, 10 users will be ramped up, right? And here, this is scenario. Okay, these are the transaction and some think time we have given. So this is normal scenario. Okay, normally we are executing. So you will see that the transaction, let us run. So we are running it for 10 users, and you will see that there will be like all users will be executing those transactions at some certain different period of time. Okay, not at same time. So you can see here, right? Some time gap is there. Then for enter store, one fellow who is executing and enter store 0, and then he went away. He went ahead with enter store 1. Still, then what happens? Still another user is executing enter store 0, right? So a gap is there. If you see, lagging is there, right? Few user are ahead and is executing on enter store 1, while one user is executing enter store 0 only. Still, right? So like that gap is there. One user reached at 3, but few user are still executing 1 only. Okay, you see at that time, correct? At the same time, suppose 8:14 is the time frame. If you take this 14 second, 8 p.m. 50 minutes and 14 second. So three requests got executed at that time, three or four, right? Or here one, so one, five. But all are busy in different. Here, if you see, this user is executing the second, this is executing third, this is executing the first, and this is executing the zeroth, right? Zeroth, because I have kept in enter store, I have kept four requests, right? Four requests. So like that, if you observe, no all user, not all user will be busy in executing the same request at same time in normal scenario, right? Normal scenario. Okay. So here also you can see, let us say this is the time when uh, five requests got executed at the same time. But in that, are they executing the same request? No. One is busy, these two executed the second, this also executed the second, but another one is still in one, another one is in three, right? Three, like that, right? Because of ramp up period, think time period. So someone will go ahead, someone will lag behind that, right? This will happen. Okay, this will happen, and this happens in any request. If you see, if you take right, even the time frame also, you see, let us say this submit, the last one has only one request. In that also, these all 10 users are not executing them almost at same time, right? A huge gap is there. Two user did this, then one user, then another user. So if you see, a huge gap is there, right? Huge gap is there. Okay, this whole thing it took 6 seconds to finish by all 10 users, right? Two users this time, one user here. So total, if we reduce, if you get the difference, for 56 minus 48 is around 8 seconds, right? 8. So they all 10 users took 8 seconds to execute them, right? At least 8 second gap is there. Now in synchronizing case, what will happen? The same scenario, we will make it synchronizing or rendezvous. So here parallelly, I have used a timer. Okay, parallel to all the transaction controller. So we know that how it affects, right? It effect will be applied before each request, right? Before each request, and uh, since it's parallel, so its scope will be also before each request, right? And execution will be before each request only, right? So now you will observe that what will happen, this thing will happen. It will block the user and releases them, all of them at once for each request, right? For each request. So not means all at a time they will be released. All at a time they will be released. But if previously it was not happening, right? In normal scenario. So here you can see homepage launch has only one request. So all 10 users, still a few are left. Mm. Just a second. Oh, sorry. Here I missed actually. Here two attributes. No? That's why actually 7 did at same time, and then later on rest 10 did, right? Because of a setting. I'll explain the setting. Okay, first we'll see the behavior. Let me give you a 10. So we'll see it is holding. See, home page launch is not executed still for all 10, right? All 10 will execute almost at same time. Right? You see the time frame. Then same, it's waiting for enter store, and in that also enter store has four requests. So first 0, then 1, right? Then 2, okay, like that. Then 3, right? Almost all at same time it's happening. Okay, now it's waiting for select a page. So what it is doing at every request, it is holding the users. Earlier it was not happening. The users were going, like who is going ahead, he is going, others who is lagging, he is lagging, but all are going, all are doing concurrently. Here they are doing parallelly, or we say simultaneously. Okay, simultaneous. So all requests, if you see it, check the time frame, right? This is called concurrent, means not concurrent. This confusion is there in that definition. Also I have explained, right? Many people, this simultaneous behavior, which is known as rendezvous or synchronizing behavior, many people say that this is a concurrent, but this is not a concurrent. Okay, so if any people is saying you that you have to run a concurrent user test, just confirm, are you pointing to rendezvous scenario, or synchronizing scenario, or normal concurrency? Okay, so difference is there. So this is what big blend is, a kind of scenario where all the request is almost hit at same time, even though think time and everything is there, ramp up, everything is applied, but that is not going to affect, and you see all are executed almost at the same time. Okay, so that is what sudden load on the system, sudden load on the system. Fine. Right, now talking about the two attributes, it has two attributes, these two attributes. So first attribute says the number of simulated users to group by. It means that how many user you want to do, or how many user you want to go in synchronizing. Let us say I'm running for 10 users, right? 10 users. And if you want all 10 users to go in synchronizing mode, means all 10 users to put the load at instant, then give value here 10, right? Give value here 10. Now let us say out of 10, you only need 6 to go in synchronizing, and rest 4 will be going normal. Synchronizing will not be applied. So then you can reduce the number of user here, like 6. So now if I run, but this doesn't work so properly. Okay, what I have observed. So you see, first 6 user will hit at same time. Here you see, first 6 users, and then rest 4. Uh, they should go ahead parallelly, but that's what I said. It do not work right properly. So next, first 6 has almost executed at same time, and then rest 4, they have also executed at same time, but not syncing with this, right? They have done at some separate time, Okay, it's not syncing. So this behavior doesn't work properly. Okay, but what they have given meaning is that one, that out of total number of user, if you want to reduce and you want to have few user only to go in synchronizing behavior, then you can give the value here, but it doesn't work properly. Better is how many user you have, right? All you involve in synchronizing, right? That works fine. So I'm running it for 10 user and all will go in synchronizing. So here 10, right? And next is timeout. What is timeout, right? Timeout value here, its default value is 0, and 0 here means infinity. So a valid value greater than 0 must be given. Okay, why? Because this is time till when the JMeter will hold the request. It means that, let us say, take home page launch. This is one request. This is one request. This is one request. Like that, three requests. Suppose this is home page launch. This is enter store 0. Then after that, we have enter store 1. Fine. Now, as we have just seen, JMeter, all the 10 users who are going in synchronizing. So all 10 JMeter will first bring this to this request, right? And it will wait for all the users to arrive. Until then, it will hold all the users, right? And when all the users arrives, this is what, right? It blocks the user and releases them all at once. And this is what we have seen, right? We have seen. So it is holding them. And when all 10 users have ramped up and when they have arrived at home page launch, it is releasing them at just same time, at some time. Then again, they all are slowly, they will go to enter store 0, all 10, according to their think time. And that's why you see at that time, nothing is happening, right? We do not see any request. And out of sudden, we see all requests getting fired, right? Because all are waiting. JMeter waits for all to arrive, right? At enter store 0. When all 10 has arrived, all 10 has arrived here, then again it will fire them at almost same time, at almost same time. So this waiting time is what this timeout. It means that suppose sometime whenever you are running for a larger syncing test, let us say 1000 user, 1000 simultaneous run test you are doing. So maybe user may get stuck in the middle. Okay, something can happen. Maybe for them response didn't came, so they are still waiting. Okay, oh, so something can happen, right? Something can happen, and let us say I'll explain with 10 users only. So let us say after home page launch, only 8 user reached here. 8 user reached here. Next request. 2 user got stuck in the middle. Maybe their response didn't came. They're still waiting for response, or something has happened for 2 users. So JMeter waits for an infinite time for those 2 users to arrive. Okay, because it will wait for infinite time for all 10 users to arrive here, because here you have given 10, right? Total number of users running here 10. So 8 has arrived, 2 are left. It will wait for infinity time to for that 2 also to arrive, and in that case it can wait for longer period also, until unless this 2 comes, right? So that's what, if you give some value here, a fixed value, that is better, because infinity time, how much for infinity, how much or how longer you want the JMeter to wait, right? Which is not uh, I guess, which is not a feasible behavior. It can take 5 minutes also, who knows, right? So you can decide some value and you can give time out there, maybe in 1 minute, 2 minute more maximum. Whether in 2 minutes, if all 10 are coming, fine. Suppose a 2 minute, if you give 2 minutes is also very high actually. 1 minute, fine. In 1 minute, if all 10 are coming, fine. If no one is, let us say 8 has came, 2 have not came, so maximum it will wait for 1 minute. And if these 2 didn't arrive, it will execute this 8 only, right? After that timeout time is over. That is what timeout. And this is how we achieve the very simple, just we have to use the synchronizing timer parallel to all the transactions, right? And it will work, and just give the settings here. Very simple. And this flow is known as big billion day sale or rendezvous scenario kind of thing. If multiple requests are there in a transaction, what will be the effect of synchronizing timer? So the effect will remain same, means each request will be executed at same time only. Okay, each request will be executed at same time. And if in a script we have ramp up and think time applied, will it is going to affect the simultaneous hitting behavior of user. No. Okay. Think time and ramp up will certainly give some wait time, but it is not going to affect the synchronizing behavior. They will all be hitting at same time only. Now next is throughput timer. Now what is throughput, right? Throughput in performance testing means number of requests hitting the server per minute or per second. Okay, so that is RPS or RPM or TPS, you can say, or transaction per second or request per second. Okay, hits per second. So basically, it is term in request per second only. Okay, request per second or request per minute. We say that, not in transaction. Right. So that is the main definition of throughput in performance testing. Another definition of throughput is that it is the data sent and data received, okay, measured in bytes per second per a minute or per hour, right? In per second or per minute or per hour. So in HTML report that we have, in the last you see both columns are there. One is the TPS column is also there, which is not TPS actually, that is RPS. And we have another two column for sent byte and received byte, right? Sent byte and received byte in per second basis, right? So that is what the definition of throughput in JMeter, not in JMeter, sorry, in performance testing world. Okay. Now to control this, we have a timer in JMeter that is known as constant throughput timer. Okay, constant throughput timer. We'll see that. We have one controller also. Remember, constant, not throughput controller, right? Throughput controller, which I said that that name is misnomer. It has nothing to do with controlling the throughput, right? But this timer has actually this constant timer, throughput timer, constant throughput timer controls the hitting, right? Hitting of the request per minute basis. Okay, per minute basis. So some real-time examples will be like, suppose requirement is there that we have to execute 20 requests per hour or 20 requests per minute or 20 requests per second, right? Or you can say 10 transactions per minute or per hour or 1000 transactions per hour, like that. Sometime say that client know that his server can handle only 10 requests per second, right? And if you are hitting 20 requests per second, then server will crash. So in that case, constant throughput timer we can use, which will handle the number of requests going per second or per minute basis. Okay, and it can be used in controlling the pacing also. So this is the timer whose name is constant throughput timer. So actually this timer controls the execution of requests and based on time, and that too in minutes. Okay, I don't know why they have given in minutes, but it's in minute in JMeter. Hence, it is controlling the throughput per minute. Okay, per minute, not per second. The throughput per minute, right? Constant throughput timer calculates and introduces delay between the samples or requests so as to keep the throughput at configured value between the requests, so as to keep the throughput at configured value. It has two attributes. One is target throughput in sample per minute. Another one is calculate throughput based on. Okay. This sample means request. So wherever in JMeter you see sample, replace that sample with a request, you will get the idea. And wherever you see thread, replace that thread with user, you will get a clear picture, right? Because in JMeter request is known as sample, and users are known as thread. So here, let us say I have 10 users. Okay, 10 users. and I've given a 5-second ramp up. I'm not using any think time. Okay, and I'll be running this scenario. Maybe how many requests they have. Okay, so this scenario where around 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 transactions are involved. Okay, and one of the transaction means, let us say 2 transaction here. They have more than one request, right? More than one request. Now let us run it. First run it for one user. So you see all these requests, how many requests total? 1 here, 4 here, then 3 here, 1 here, and 1 here, right? So total 7, and 8 and 9 and 10, right? 10 requests. So 10 requests got fired by one user in how many seconds? If you see, in only 2 seconds. Okay, 2 seconds. Total time without think time we executed, and very fast they got executed. Now let us run for 10 users. So if you see this hitting, this 10 request got fired in 2 seconds. So if you divide it and take the throughput, it's actually in per second basis. If you see 10 by 2, which is 5 by 5, right? So in 1 second, 5 requests got fired. So throughput is 5 RPS, 5 requests per second. Okay. So in 1 second, 5 requests is going to the server. Here, this time we run for 10 users. We have given some ramp up time. And uh, if you want to calculate the request, so how many requests we have here? Total 10. And how many users we ran? So 10. So how much request got fired? 100. In how many second? In 6, right? In 6 seconds. 6 seconds. So now TPS has increased, right? If you see, RPS has increased. So in 1 second now, how many requests got fired? So 100 by 6 if you do. So that will be the calculation, right? This will be 50. This will be 3. Something will get, right? Some values. Okay. So it has increased. Somehow it has increased. It will be around 17. 17 something in decimal. So 17 requests in 1 second. Okay, 1 second. So increasing the users is also increasing the request, right? Request getting hit to the server, right? Now, when there is requirement to control this requests, okay, because in normal run we are not controlling. If you are increasing the number of users, obviously the request number of hits is going to be increased on the server. But if we have a certain number of users, but we have to run in some in such a manner that request should be fired on certain basis only. In some means a number of requests only should be fired in some time frame, not more than that. Okay, not more than that. So then we will be using the constant throughput timer. So that example I told, right, that only 10 requests or only 20 requests in 1 minute, right? Like that if you have to do. So when there is a need to control this heating of the request, then we will be using the constant throughput timer. So here, so I have used the transactions, right? And I've kept a constant throughput timer here. Okay, parallel. Okay, parallel to all these transactions. So it according to a scoping rule, it setting will be applied before each request, plus it will execute before each request, right? Before each request. Now what we are doing here is, as I told, in JMeter we can only control per minute basis. Okay, per minute, not per second. So you see here, in sample per minute. So remove the sample and put it here request, right? You will get the picture. Means request per minute. How many requests you want to fire in 1 minute, right? In 1 minute, that means 60 seconds. You can always bring it to 60 seconds by dividing. So in 60 seconds, how many requests will go? That number you have to give here. Let us say 10 only. And I have given this thread, and let me loop it for now. For let me loop it. So I'm looping it for infinity, and I'm running it for one user only. So you will see, earlier we just executed for 1 minute, right? And hope you have seen, sorry, we executed for one user, and hope you have seen that 10 requests got fired in 2 seconds only, right? 2 seconds. But now this time we are controlling that. This 10 requests will be going in 60 seconds, not less than that or not more than that. Okay, so here let us execute. Okay, let that execute. They're failing. That is not a concern. I have to fix them. Till it runs, I'll fix. Okay. Mm, okay, I'll just run it again. Okay. So currently here, what I have done is I have removed the request. Currently only how many requests we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right? 5 requests are there in all this setup, and we have given 10 here, right? 10 here. So you'll see we are looping it. Okay. To understand this constant throughput timer, we have to loop, because any execution we have to loop only. Either you loop for you loop some for some given time, given number, or you do a duration based test. In that also looping is there, right? So if you see, 60 second is going to be over, still it's 40 second, and if you calculate, only 10 requests will be fired. Okay. Oh, so slow this is going, right? You see, because that is what control. It's almost 57, 58, 59, 60. Okay, 60 done. So I can drag a line here. If you calculate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. This one ignored, right? So 10, correct? Same thing. The same when we executed just before in normal flow, these all 10 requests or 5 requests got executed in 2 seconds only. Now see, these are taking, they are getting executed in so controlled manner that now in 60 seconds they are getting executed only 10 requests. Okay, only 10 requests. So same in every 60 second, only 10 requests will go, not more than that. Okay, even though I have not given any timer here, they are not okay. You see here, no timer, nothing. They are self-controlled. Okay, self-controlled. No timer, nothing we have given. Now what we will do, we'll increase the number of users. Let us increase to 6 or 10. 10, let us increase to 10. Okay. Now we have, so here a few other settings are also there. So I'll explain what happens. So because real run is when we are running for n number of users, right? Not one, more than one. Then what is the behavior that we have to check, right? One user is very simple to understand. So now a total 5 requests are there in all this. Okay, 5 requests are there, and we are running for 10 users. Correct, 10 users. So, and here I have given 10 requests only in 60 seconds, right? Per minute means in 60 seconds. And we have selected this setting called this thread only. So what I told, wherever you see thread, just remove that thread and put a user or users and try to read the statement. So what it says, this user only means we are running for 10 users. And if you have selected this setting, it means that each user will put 10 request in 1 minute. Okay, each user will put 10 request in within 1 minute only, within 1 minute. So we have 10 users running, and each one will put 10 request in first 60 in every 60 second, right? Every 60 second. So how much hit will be going there? 100 in 60 second. 100 hits will be going, right? 100 hits will be going. 100 will be tough to calculate, right? So what we will do, let us give 5 here, and let us reduce the number of users so that it will be easy to calculate, count at least. So currently 5, and here I have reduced to 5. Means 5 user, 5 request, and 5 user, and we have selected this thread. Means each user will be putting 5 request in first 60 seconds. So total how much? 25 request will only go in 60 seconds. Okay. So still 33, 34, right? Execution time, if you see, still around 40, 20 seconds more. Okay. So till then, select, I'll not count. I'll just stop when it is going to be 60. Okay. It will be easy to count. Stopped. Okay, just now we'll count. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. Then 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Right, 25. And one extra came here. So up to here 25. Because 1 minute it crossed. So some ups and down, little ups and down will be there. But you see how control, only 25 requests. If we are not using constant power output timer, so in within 5 or 10 second only, so much request will be fired, right? So that is the difference. Here we are controlling the request. Okay, controlling the request to be executed in some period of time, not more than that. Means slow, putting the load slowly. Now another setting is here active thread, all active threads. Okay, if you select this setting, this is not working properly, but I'll explain what it does. It means that we are running for 5 users, and here I have given 5 requests, so 25, right? But in the it was happening in if you select this thread only, in that case what is happening, which we have just seen, that each user will be putting five request in 60 seconds, right? So one user 5 request in first 60 second, one user 5 request, another user 5 request. So total 5 user are there, and each will be putting 5 right, in 60 seconds. So total we are going to achieve 25, right, in first 60 second. In every 60 second it will be like that only. In every 60 second, 25, 25, 25. Now if you select here all active thread, it means that irrespective of number of user, it is only going to put 5 only, 5 requests only. So let me see whether it works or not. Problem is that I have seen this not working. Earlier it was working actually. Can't comment. One, two, three, four, five. That is the thing. Actually, it should have stopped at here only, either at 5 or at 6 in first 60 second. Okay, that is what it says. But it has gone beyond, and 5 more it has done. So it works. It was working previously also, but from 5.3 or 5.4, I have seen that this feature is doing something fishy. Okay, fishy. Actually, this meaning is that irrespective of how many user you are running, that is not the concern. Only 5 requests will go. Okay, only 5 requests will go. Fine. In first 60 seconds. But here, actually, I think 60 got over somewhere here. 25, 16, and somewhere here it got over 60 seconds, right? And we are running 5 requests and 5 users, but we have given only 5, and setting is all active, so only 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is done. Still 4 get executed extra, which it should not be doing. Okay, but yeah, let it be, right? So if you see, it's not this time, it's not 25, right? Earlier what we calculated, each one sending 5 5, so 25, but this time it's very much controlled, only 5 actually. Some extra it's doing, that's what I cannot comment. If we all 5 users doing it here, or target throughput is divided among all the active thread, right? You see, and each thread will delay as needed based on it the last run. In this case, each thread will need a constant throughput timer with same setting. All these things are same. Either you select active thread or all active thread. Okay, let me try this one. All active thread in current group. But actually it should do as per the definition or as per the behavior, irrespective of how many number of user you are running. If you have selected all active threads or all active anyone, either all active or all active thread in current group, or these all remain same, it is going to put only 5, only 5. Okay, again same, it's extending little bit here. It should have stopped here, but some extra 2 3 extra it's doing, right? So you got the difference between this and this thread, right? If it's this thread, then each one will be putting this much. So how many number of user you are running? Let us say if you are running 1000, and here you have set 5. So in 60 second, how much will go? 5000, right? 5k. Fine. So number of user multiplied by the value you have given here. But if you have given this, you have if you select this active thread, so irrespective of number of user, only 5, only 5. But this do not work properly recently, what we have observed here. I think we will be needing this one in any real-time project. Okay, any this one, because it will throughput is calculated when we have the number of user also, right? Then okay, so this we will not be needing. So you can ignore this. This is what we will be needing. Right? So likewise, we can control the throughput, and this is what constant throughput time. And one more thing, that constant throughput timer controls the request in the script, total request in the script, right? It does not bother about how many transactions are there in a script, right? It doesn't bother about the transaction. It bother about how many total requests are there in the script. That's why in the setting is itself it's saying the request per minute, not transaction per minute, because a transaction is not the real thing. Requests are real thing. A transaction can have multiple requests also, then right, then how will calculate the transaction? So request per second or request per minute is the main thing which we should focus while doing which we should focus on throughput case. Now, one question is there that if think time are there in between transaction and throughput time, okay, if think time is there in between the transaction and if throughput is applied, so will that think time affect the behavior of throughput timer? So answer is yes, it will decrease the hitting numbers. Okay, think time decrease the hitting number. So it's better not to use think time while using throughput timer. So whenever you are there is scenario where we have to control the throughput. So at that time there is no use of using think time. Okay, you can disable them because it will it will hamper the working behavior of constant throughput timer. Okay, so here in this example, if you see, I have not used the think time. Otherwise, they will decrease the hitting numbers. They will decrease the hitting numbers. Pacing, right? Pacing we already know, so you can read these notes. Next, we have listeners, right? So these are few listeners. Mostly we have used them, and few are like graphs only. So please read them. Few will be using like this Puffmon we will be using. Backend listener we have used in Grafana. Okay, so this we have done. Listeners are not that much of important. You can read a simple notes on this listener. These are a few plugin listeners. One listener we have seen in thread group section, right? This one, like that. But this listener, we do not use them now. Okay, nowadays, or if you see few listeners are there, this response time graph. These are actually graph, or this all. Why? Because this all are present in HTML report. Okay, so they are now you can say we do not use. Why? Because in the final report you will get all these tables in HTML report. Total 16 graphs are there, right? In HTML reporting. So that's why there is no need of using the listener. This first thing. Second thing, any listener we should not use until unless needed. Why? Because whenever you are running a test in non-GI mode, any listener will not help you in watching the result, right? What is the use? Okay, so you can have this. You can read from your side. Not much important. Then we have pre-processors and we have post-processors. Okay, so pre-processor there are around 5 pre-processor. We have JMeter. In that, which we'll be using is JDBC. In JDBC section we'll see that, and one BeanShell in BeanShell section we'll see that. Okay, immediately after this, others are West. One I have already shown you, right? So you can read the notes on this 4 or 5. Now come to post processors. Post processor we have used most of them, right? This one we have used, this extractor all we have used. JSON only we have not used. We'll see that in REST API. Then BeanShell will see in BeanShell, and JDBC will see in JDBC sections, right? Others we have seen already. So this is post processors. Next, done, finished. Okay, so JMeter elements completed. Now we'll start BeanShell. Okay. Still we have time, right? More than half an hour we have. So we'll see BeanShell. So first, the JMeter in BeanShell or JSR 223 and understanding it with respect to Java. Fine. So what is BeanShell? BeanShell is a scripting language which internally includes all the Java libraries. Therefore, all the Java related keywords and functions can be used in BeanShell directly. Fine. So it's kind of, you can say it's a small you can say it's a scripting part of Java only, right? Java. Or light version of Java. Another definition of BeanShell is it is also known as light version of Java or lightweight scripting for Java. Okay. Now, what is the difference between scripting language and normal programming language? Scripting language and difference between scripting and programming language.
Needs to be compiled, either can be run at runtime.
Pardon? Yeah, they compile at runtime. Programming language, they compile. So scripting language examples, right, is suppose we take BeanShell, Groovy, Perl, Shell, JavaScript, VB script, and Python. Python is a exception. Okay, I'll tell. Now, programming language examples are like C, C++, okay, .NET, Java, PHP, HTML, JavaScript, not JavaScript, Python. Okay, Python. Now see, Python is an exception. Why? Because Python is a both language. It's a programming language plus it's a scripting language. So it comes in, it comes in both category, right? That's why Python is on top ranking language nowadays. Now, the other difference are, so this is an example difference. Now, other difference are that they means the scripting language do not support oops concept. Okay, basically dealing with the classes, except Python because Python is exceptions. Fine. So we have a oops concept in any programming language, you know, in C++ or .NET or Java, we have this concept, right? Object-oriented programming thing where we create the classes, we play with the classes by calling their object, right? Creating the methods. Okay, so this concept is not supported in any scripting language. Another thing is that they do not require compilation like programming language. Okay, so like how a programming language, when we write, then that is compiled, and then that bytecode or machine code that we say are generated. So some steps are there, right? And then the output will come. Okay, but they do not require compilation like that, like the normal programming language. Then this will not, or they will, scripting language will not give you any product standalone. They are used as supportive language. So take an example. Let us say we know JavaScript. It's a very important thing while we do the web development, and that is what front end. At front end programming, when we do, JavaScript is the main thing. And nowadays um, there are many version of JavaScript only, right? If you have TypeScript has came, so it's actually JavaScript only, extended versions. AngularJS are there, React.js are there. Okay, these are some extended libraries of JavaScript only. But directly using JavaScript, you cannot design a web page. You have to use HTML language. The main part will be HTML coding, and then with that JavaScript will be coming as a supportive, which will support that, because HTML coding will be a static thing, and how to play and make it dynamic, then JavaScript will come there, right? So any scripting language cannot give you any product standalone. They are used as supportive language. Now, example of normal programming language syntax. Fine. So let us say this is taken from C. In C language, I will write. First, we'll call the package that you see. Package or class is called. Then we'll write a method, main method. Main method will be necessary, right? In any programming language, method is created, and then we do this operation. Whatever operation you want, you can do that. So let us say print the hello, right? But in a scripting language, since it's a very simple and straightforward method, since they do not need oops concept or they do not supports also, there is no need to call the package or create the methods, okay, or class or main method. No, simply you write the statement and that will be executed. Okay, so it's a simple and straightforward. Fine. That is the difference here. Now, why we use BeanShell or JSR223 in JMeter? So we use this in JMeter. We use BeanShell or JSR223 in JMeter to customize the script as per our requirement. Let us say JMeter, we have many functionality, right? But few things that we will be needing, which JMeter cannot give, then we will be writing some code for that, right? Which code? Basically, this demo I'm going to show using Java, because Java is a very popular code, a popular programming language, and JMeter is built on Java only. So all Java syntaxes are fully supported here without any problem. Plus on Google also, you do any search for code, all code you will get right easily. Fine. So that is the thing. So some operation we need to do which JMeter cannot do. JMeter cannot help in doing. Then we have to write. We have to customize. Let us say a few things. Suppose we are booking the product, or we need that product items to write in a file, right, to be saved in a file. Then JMeter will not support. There is no element in JMeter will support. Same way, suppose you are running user registration scenario and you want to save all the users who have registered successfully to a file. How we will do that, right? So like that kind of thing, when we need to do, we have to use this BeanShell. Actually, it's a coding. Some coding we have to do. Okay, Java code. Now, BeanShell and JSR223 elements available in JMeter for custom coding are, these are the 6 types of element available. BeanShell sampler or JSR223 sampler, BeanShell or JSR223 preprocessor, BeanShell or actually it should be not or, it should be and. Okay, because these all are separate, and just this, let me correct. And okay, so BeanShell and JSR223 sampler, same BeanShell and JSR223 preprocessor, BeanShell and JSR223 post processor, BeanShell and JSR223 assertion, and then timer and listener. So total 6 into 2. Okay, each one has two, means a BeanShell sampler and JSR223 sampler. So 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. So total 12. Okay, 12 elements. Fine. Now in that we'll be using only up to this. This we not required. We have so many listener, we have so many timers. So I do not think any scenario will be there where we have to write any custom coding for that. Okay, so we'll see examples up to here only. And that example, what we are going to see is the real-time examples, right? Which we will be needing in our day-to-day projects. Before that, let us understand the difference between this BeanShell and JSR223 elements. Okay. So if you go in any element in any of these major element, if you go in sampler, if you go in pre, post, assertion, listener, timer, you will see two elements will be there. One will be BeanShell. Let us say I'll go to thread group. Let us say go to sampler, and you will see somewhere BeanShell. Yeah, BeanShell sampler plus JSR223 sampler. Same way in preprocessor, you will see JSR223 preprocessor and BeanShell preprocessor. Same way in post processor, right? JSR223 and BeanShell post processor. Same way in assertion, JSR223 assertion and BeanShell assertion. Okay. So that's why I told 2 into 6, 12. This actually, what is the difference? What is the similarity first? Both BeanShell and JSR223 elements are used or are there available for custom coding, right? That's what we said, right? Customize the script based on writing some code. So these are the available element. Either you can use BeanShell or you can use JSR223. Only this. There are no other element where we can use or where the feature is there to write the code. Only these two are available, right? Okay, so there are total 12. So you can see here, this is sampler, BeanShell sampler, preprocessor, postprocessor, BeanShell assertion, timer, listener. Then this is JSR223 sampler, preprocessor, postprocessor, assertion, timer, listener. And this is the area you see where this is the area where we'll be writing the code. Okay, or you can see here, here we'll be writing the code. Now, what is the difference between them? Okay, so difference between them is any of the BeanShell element that you see here, they only supports Java. Only support Java language. Okay, only Java code you can write. Fine. But in JSR223, in any of the JSR223 element, we can choose some language. Like you see here, here option is given to choose the language in JSR223, but it's not there in BeanShell. Here you see nothing is there. Fine, nothing is there. But here in JSR it's there. So in the available language here are, let us say you can choose Groovy, you can choose Java, JavaScript, GXL3, then we have some other. Okay, some other. So here BeanShell is also there, Java is also there, Groovy is there, JavaScript is also there. Python also we can use. Nowadays, a plugin has came called something, I forgot the name. That plugin you have to download from internet and install in the lib directory. And when you restart the JMeter, here you'll get the option to choose the Python also, and you can write Python code, right? So that is the only difference. In BeanShell, you can just only write Java. Here you can write anything. Means whatever the level we have, Groovy, Java, JavaScript, BeanShell is also there, plus Python. Okay, in the known language that we talk. Now, many people actually say that we should not use BeanShell because it consumes more memory, not more memory, more processing. Okay, processing. But remember, okay, but this is not written on JMeter website. This is not written on JMeter website. JMeter website, nowhere it has written that we should not use BeanShell. Okay, people say. Okay, they will read somewhere from something and then that will be continued as a myth without any proof. No problem. Okay, and they say that instead of using BeanShell, we should use JSR223. And many people are saying like that in future, a JMeter will remove this BeanShell. Till now, they have not removed. What they will remove in future? Okay, it's coming from very long. Okay, so not an issue. Okay, not an issue. In both, we can write Java. Let us say in future, if BeanShell is not there, in JSR223, you can choose the, here you see two things, both are same. If you see BeanShell, here BeanShell, right? And you see the Java, the package, the implementation is same, right? It's 2.0 B6. For Java also 2.0 B6, BeanShell engine 1.0, BeanShell engine 1.0. So you select anyone, either you select Java or you select BeanShell and write the same code, Java only. See, there is nothing, some separate coding called BeanShell. Okay, some inbuilt features are there using which we will use some inbuilt, you can say some features which is given in JMeter, that is known as they say BeanShell, plus Java code we'll be using. Okay, Java code. So it's not something that additionally we have to learn BeanShell. No, we have, if you want, we have to learn Java only. Okay, Java only. So that is the exact difference, right? Here it's especially support Java. Here it supports Java plus some other language. And in future, if BeanShell is not there, same code that we'll see or practice directly you can use in GSR 2 to 3. Just select that part right here. Either you select BeanShell or you select the Java and easily write the Java codes. Not an issue. Okay. What is the beauty of BeanShell? It's a scripting language developed in Java. So all standard Java syntax can be dynamically executed. Variables are declared as loose type. It means that no need to declare the type of variables. Okay, no need to declare the type of variables. This is very important and handy thing, very useful and handy thing. We'll see this. Then since Java libraries are internally included, because that is the definition of BeanShell, that is a light version of Java only, or lightweight scripting of Java. So all Java libraries are internally included. 95% of time, there is no need to call the Java packages for any operation. Okay, like this, the simple example we have seen. If you write the same stuff in a normal programming language, you have to call the packages, create the main method. But here, no need to create the main method, no need to call the package. You just execute the statement. Okay, so no need. We'll see that in real time. Now, what are the limitations of BeanShell? There is no dedicated information library, no dedicated library you can say, or informational library available to get idea about using BeanShell in JMeter. Fine, nothing, there is nothing. We have to take help from forums like blog or Google search for any help related to it. Okay, plus we have to know core Java, right? Basically core Java, because all things are Java only. Now so before we see some examples, I'll take you to the website of BeanShell. Search BeanShell in Google and you'll see this website. Here what is they have written? See, lightweight scripting of Java. So actually it's Java only. Okay, nothing called BeanShell. You learn Java, it will help for your career and it will help for JMeter also. Okay, so ignore other language. Python, Groovy, not required. You want to learn Python for your own some other use, you can learn, but learn one language, that is Java, for industry at least to survive. Okay, because Java is everywhere. Now so we'll go to the website, and this is the website, and here go to this page called docs, click on docs, and then go to this page, HTML, one long page. Okay, so here they have given about some syntaxes of BeanShell. Fine, it's a little bit long page. Okay, something fine, but what you will get it is, here you will not get anything that how to use this in JMeter. Okay, you'll not get anything that how to use whatever they are teaching here to implement that in JMeter. So that is the drawback. Okay, drawback. And we have to take help from some forums, means Google source or a blog, right? And we have to know core Java. Okay, because everything is Java. So here I'll be teaching you how we can implement. Whole Java I cannot teach, right? I'll be bringing some Java concept and I'll be showing you how to implement. Rest Java you have to learn from your side. Here we'll see implementation using some real-time use cases. So these are the real-time use cases that I have created, and it is going to take 5 to 6 days on this only. Fine. So first we'll see introduction. Okay, BeanShell real-time use cases example. Okay, so what I have done, I have added a test plan. Okay, and I have added a thread group as usual. Inside this thread group, I'll add a sampler called BeanShell sampler. Okay, where is that? Here. Fine. Now this is the area where we'll be writing the code, and here there is no option to select the language, right? Because here by default it will take the Java codes, right? And here there is no need to choose anything or put a check mark, not required. Now first we'll start with the variables, and in the variable we'll see yeah, first we'll see declaration of variable, integer and string thing. So see, in any program, see, every programming language, it is start with variable only, right? Variable is everything in any programming language. Now in any programming language, when we declare a variable, what we do, we give a type. Okay, that you are typecasting. So let us say if any integer is there, so what we'll be writing? Int I. Correct. If any character is there, what we'll be doing? Char C. If any string will be there, so we'll be writing like string S. Okay, string S, and we'll be assigning some value if required, like string will be hello. Correct. Hello, I'm JMeter. Right, like this. Suppose car C, some character will be assigned, right? A, and that should be in quotes, I believe, or they forget, right? Okay, some character it will be there, like that, and then integer will be some value, suppose 2. Correct, like that we do. So this part that you see is what it is known as typecasting of the variable. There are more. This is a small, there are the float variable is there, float, then booleans is there, right? Boolean. Correct, boolean. So these are what available typecasting for variable in any programming language. Now here in JMeter, in BeanShell, basically in JMeter, okay, we do not need that typecasting. If you want, you can do, but why to do that when that is not needed only? Fine. So here directly, if any integer is there, you just give I equal to 2. If any character is there, you give C equal to something, right? And if any string is there, you give is equal to hello. JMeter will automatically detect that this is an integer variable, this is an string variable, and sorry, this is a character variable, and this is an string variable. So that is the first thing. That variables are declared as loose type. Okay, means there is no need to declare the type of the variable or typecasting the variable. Right? No need. Directly you can put any variable and you can assign a value to that and do the operation. Fine. Now playing with the variables and doing something. So let us say I'll do a equal to 2. So a is integer. So in programming, if you have to write like this, what we have to write? We have to write int a and then equal to 2, right? Then int b equal to 3. Then int c equal to a plus b. Suppose a small addition operation will be doing. So for C also we have, so this is typecasting, and then you can do what, you can print the value of C to get what it has done, right? So same thing as I told here, typecasting is not needed. So directly you declare a variable a equal to 2, b equal to 3, c equal to a plus b, right? Done. Okay, done. No need to typecast. JMeter will automatically know what it is, or BeanShell package which is there in JMeter, it will know what it. Now let us say so this math we have done, one small operation we have done, and now we want to know what is the value of C. Correct? What we want to know, what is the value of C. So for that, in Java, if you know, or in any language, what we do, we print, right? We print. So in Java, we have option to print that is known as system.println, right? System.out.println. But in JMeter, we will be using log.info. Fine, log.info. So if you want to print anything, here you will be writing log.info and write here that value of quotes, value of C equals to, okay, plus C. Fine, this C is getting called here. Okay, and this statement is going to, so same thing in Java, how it will be written. First, let us understand it from Java perspective. So in Java, if you have done this operation, then you have to print the value of C, right, to get what is the value of C. So you'll write system dot out dot print is in a small letter, print ln, fine, ln, then value of C equal to plus C, fine, plus C, right? This is how we'll write in Java. But in JMeter, this part remains same. If you see here, only thing, instead of system.out.println, we'll be using log.info. What is the difference between them? So let me execute this, and you'll see this is going to print the output, this output on JMeter console. Where is that? Here. This is the JMeter console, right? Let me say and execute. See, value of C equal to 5. Fine. But we do not use this in JMeter. Why? Because many times it hangs the JMeter and it freezes the JMeter, and it freezes the console also. Right? So this will not be using. Plus one more is there. One more statement that is from Java only. That is print, and this part will remain same. And this also prints on console. This also prints on Java console. See, second time it came. So this also prints on Java console. But any of these two will not be using. Why will not be using? Because extensive use of this makes the JMeter hang. Okay, it will freeze the JMeter, so you will be irritated. Okay, so what is given in JMeter? Other respects, see this plus C. This is called concatenation thing from Java. Right? This is how the things are called in Java. Okay, right? Any variable we have to call here. So this concept remains same from Java. That is what I am going to tell here. That everything will be Java. Some implementation will differ. Okay, some little bit implementation will be differ. Some keywords will differ, and that is what we are going to see. Okay, rest is Java. So up to here, you see this is Java only. But and you can print the value here also, fully Java supported, right? I have printed here, right? You see, I have printed, but one drawback is that this is sometime extensive. If you are going to do, it will freeze the JMeter, it will hang the JMeter, and you will be getting irritated. So why not use this log.info, which is given by JMeter only? So see, some keywords are there in each sampler. Okay, in each of the element of BeanShell. What are the keyword here? If you observe here, downside. Okay, you see something. Following variables are defined for the script: sample result, response code, response message, is success, label, file name, ctx, vars, props, and log. So currently we are using this log, a log which is given. Okay, same as a props is there, var, ctx. We'll see each of them. Same way in other right, other, if you see in BeanShell preprocessor, these are the variable we can use. Fine. In post processor, these are the variable we can use. These are actually inbuilt system variables, right, which will be useful for us. In BeanShell assertion, these are the things we can use. For read and write, we can use this. For read only, we can use this. Okay. In timer will not, we do not have use case, but yeah, there also. Same in JSR 223 sampler also, if you see ctx, vars, okay, log, label, file name, correct, in preprocessor of JSR. So these are the keyword which are predefined, and we have to just use them directly. So here what we are using is, we are using one of the log.info, right? Because I told that this will be hanging the JMeter, so we will be using some defined thing given by JMeter only. Other thing remains same. So other concept, if you see this part of the Java only, this is just one thing given from JMeter. So you have to use this. Now this is going to print the value of C where, you know, in log viewer. Where is that log viewer? this symbol over here on top right corner. If you click that, this is the log viewer, right? We have just discussed few days back, log viewer. And I told that log viewer is very important when you are writing some custom coding. This is very much important to debug the stuff. So if I delete this and run, so this is going to print here. You see here, value of C is 5. Okay, correct. Now, one more thing before we proceed ahead. If you want to clear, I think I've told this earlier also, that if you want to clear this previous statement from log, a smaller brush do not clear it. Okay, the bigger brush only clears it. So let us say I'm clicking on a smaller brush. See, nothing is happening, right? Nothing. They are not cleared. Nothing is happening. Only bigger brush will clear it. So it has cleared. So this is what the basic to, for not today. I will see something else. So this is what variables are declared loose type plus integers, right? Integer operation we have done. I'll tell you string operation also we'll see. Plus this is what printing, right? Printing will be using log.info, not these two, but yeah, this also supported. Correct. Now, so that is what integer. Now let us say whenever we are playing with the string, so here suppose I'll give string s equal to, just I'll type hello, I am JMeter. So this is a string, right? Whenever we deal with string, remember first thing is that the string should be in double quotes. In if controller and while controller section also I have discussed it, that if any time you are declaring a string, that should always be in double quotes, and for integer there is no need of double quotes. So these all are programming concepts. Okay, so now this has automatically stored in this variable called s, and JMeter knows that this is a string variable. Okay, this is a string, no need to declare. And if you want to know the proof, so simply you call here value of s equal to plus s and run. So see here, first value of c is 5, and then value s is hello I'm JMeter. Okay, hello I'm JMeter. As usual, it's got printed. Fine. So that is the very useful feature, that typecasting is not needed, but we have to understand few things from our side also. Okay, from our side also. Okay. Now next example is, let us say, so ignore, so a string thing we have understood, right? Now ignore this stuff from here to here. Now let us understand the use of BeanShell. Why we will be writing the custom coding, right? That we have to understand. So see, I did something here, and the output I got in C. Now I need this output, right? Whatever the value is stored in C, that I need in some subsequent request. Okay, that's why why I'll be writing a code to do something, right? To do something. So let us say I did one operation here, is addition operation, and I want to use this C in subsequent request, the value of C in subsequent request. Okay, so here I have used a HTTP request, blank HTTP request, and I'm calling that value C here, right? C in simple parameterized form, $flower basis C. Okay, like how we call the variable parameterized form, or you can let us say anywhere you need, right? So think like that. You have to do the sum of two things, and the output we have to pass in some request. right? The output you have to pass in some request, maybe in body, maybe in URL, somewhere else, some. So you'll obviously parameterize, right? Here we did the operation. Now this variable we will be calling and we'll be parameterizing over here, right? Or somewhere, right? Very simple, but this will not happen. That code is working fine, we have seen here, but is the value of C getting called here? No, this is looking as it is, correct? This is looking as it is. So it means that in rest of the cases, what the scripting we have made till now, anywhere in anywhere we extract a value, let us say using regular expression extractor or from a CSV, directly we can call them, right? Directly we can call them using parameterization. Fine, directly we can call them, we know, but why not here? Why this C cannot be called outside and the value of C can be utilized? There is some restriction is there. Okay, so for that purpose we have to understand this vars. See, another keyword given here, vars, right? So there is put and get method in JMeter. Put method and get method, not in JMeter, sorry, in Java. These are two. They are there in all programming languages. So they are there in C++ also or .NET also. Okay, this put and get method. They are there in Java also. So we'll be using vars.put and vars.get method. That is very extensively used here. Okay, that is the whole thing. So first we'll see this C cannot be called here, right? So understand that any operation you do in BeanShell or any operation you do in let me use a JSR 223 sample. Fine, yeah, and same code as I told, right? We can write in JSR 223 sampler. I'll just disable this, and from here you just select, either you select BeanShell or you select Java. Both are same thing. Okay, so select Java and run. So see, it's working, right? Not an issue. Okay, so in future anyone asks that I do not want to use BeanShell, say them, okay, what is the problem? If you use JSR 223, change the language here. Many people say we have to know Groovy. Groovy is infamous language. No one knows Groovy, man. Plus you have to do some courses, I don't know from where. Okay, so why to use Groovy? I can use Java there. Java is very famous language. I'll write the syntaxes from Java. Plus these all are myths. Say many people, why they're saying that it will take they say BeanShell sampler take more processing. Man, if you people have to save the processing of JMeter, there are multiple ways where you can save the processing. Okay, disable the listener, run in non-GUI mode, increase the heap. Many things are there. To just a small BeanShell operations is not going to consume the memory or is not going to consume more processing by JMeter. Okay, it's all myth. But let us say they say, okay, so not an issue. You can use JSR 223 sampler. You select the language Java and all thing you write here as same and it executes. Okay, executes. Now the problem is that, so remember, whenever we do scripting and in the normal scripting, whenever we extract a value or using a CSV file, whenever we call a value using floor that parameterization concept, right? Floor basis variable name, floor basis close, that is very much supported, right? Very much supported. There is no problem in that, right? But when you write any custom code here in BeanShell or in JSR 223, and you want to call that value, let us say here some value is stored and I want to call that in subsequent request, right? Here also the same stuff I did and I called. See, did it get called? No. So whenever you want, you have done some operation and that value you need outside in some subsequent request, in the next request, it cannot be called directly, okay? So that's why you see nothing is happening. Then what we have to do, we have to use vars.put. Here also you see vars is there, log is also there, log is also there, right? So these keywords are there in JSR 223 also, in BeanShell also. Anyone you can utilize. Okay, only thing, when you use JSR 223, remember to choose the language as Java or you choose the language as BeanShell. Okay, anything will work. In BeanShell that headache is not there. You just write the code, the Java code. Now, so what we have to do is, so since this value cannot be directly called, we have to use vars.put. Vars.put. Fine. Now let us understand about vars.put. Very important. Okay. Vars.put. Fine. It takes two arguments and both are in string. A string one separated by comma and another is also uh, value. uh, First is a string, second is a value v. Okay, value. That is one format of this. Another format is vars.put. It take a string, that is first part, comma, and variable which should be in string only. Okay, so remember this syntax, then only we will understand the further thing. Wait, let me write again. It got deleted. Vars.put. First will be s1, which is string 1, comma, a value v. Okay, value in double quotes v, in double quotes. Then vars dot another thing, vars.put. Another format of this s1, string 1, comma, and is2 without comma. Fine, without comma. Let me choose this sticker. Okay. Right here. So this is the two syntax we have to remember, understand for vars.put method. So see, any method when we write, little bit of programming language, if you know, whenever we create any method, something like method called sum, then we'll do we'll pass some argument, right? Integer something, some argument will pass, right? So this put is a inbuilt class, you can say, inbuilt class or inbuilt method of Java. Correct, Java. Put method and get method is there, and get is also. Now it takes two argument, right? Two argument. So it has two format. One format is that first part will always be a string variable. It will be always be a string variable. Remember, the first part will always be a string variable. Okay, I'm writing here. And the second part, it can be value here, any value, that will be in double quotes. And if you do not give double quotes, then it will be a string variable. A string variable. Okay. So anything in the second part, which is by after comma, if anything you want to give in double quotes, if you give, that will be treated as a value. That will be treated as a value. Value means what? A is a variable and this is the value, right? So 2 is the value. So what is the value of A? 2, right? So value. Anything you give in double quotes here in the second part, that will be treated as a value. Remember, first part remains same in both the cases. First part will be s1, means a string variable. Anything you can give, it will be a string variable. Okay, second part is the trick here. Second part, if anything you give in double quotes, that will be treated as a value. Remember that. But if you remove the double quotes, it should be a variable. It will be treated as a variable. Plus which variable it will treat? It should be treated as a string variable, or it take the second part as a string variable. Okay. First part is already string variable. Second part, you can pass a value in double quotes. Or if you want to pass a variable over there, the variable should be a string variable, s2. Remember, a string variable. Okay, variable should be in string format. Now we'll see the example first for this vars.put. Three examples. So vars.put. So first, let me give a variable here c, comma, and let me give a value called 7. Okay, and I'm calling this c over here. Fine. So okay, and you see what I'm given here 7, and with it's in double quotes, means it will be treated as a value, and this value will be assigned where in the c. Okay, and this c you can call outside now using normal parameterization syntax anywhere in body, in URL, anywhere you can call. I'm just calling here to show. So now if I run, it will show us what 7. Correct, 7. Even a string also you can, a string value also you can pass. Let us say here you type hello, I am JMeter. It is in double quotes, right? You see it is in double quotes. The whole thing will be assigned to C, and C is already a string variable. So here you'll see what will be this time. Hello, I am JMeter. Correct. So that is the use of vars.put. You got what is the use of vars.put? Anything you do here, the value we have to store in a variable called C. Here a variable you can give anything. For an example, I have given C or D, anything. Suppose I'll give D here, right? Or E here. So here also I have to change that E we will be calling. So whenever you need values from here to be called outside, to be called in next subsequent request, we have to use vars.put method, and this is how we can use. So this is a value I am putting, and this will be assigned in this variable called E, and this should be compulsory in double quotes, right? Compulsory in double quotes, and this E I am calling outside, that is dollar flower prices and E, and what it will be calling here, hello I am JMeter. Fine. Same way, if I give a numeric value 7, right, or 8, something 8 I am given, so this 8 will be assigned here, and this E we are calling here, so next time it will be 7 8. Fine. So that is the thing, that is one case, that the first part, as I said, it will be a string variable, any variable you can give, and that will be always in double quotes. Remember, that will always be in double quotes, and this is the variable you have to call outside in subsequent request. You can call outside, maybe in URL request, wherever you want you can call. Okay, that will be the variable name, whatever you give. Now here, this is the part where we have to play. This is a very simple and straightforward part. This is a part we have to play. Here you can pass a value. So whenever you give that value, anything you give, anything in double quotes, anything, remember, if you give anything in double quotes, that will be treated as a value. That will be treated as a value. So that whole value is assigned over. Now let us say I'm writing here just a second. Sometime I have to take help, right? To remember the scenarios. So here, let us say I'll write A is equal to same thing. Hello, hello, I am JMeter. Fine. Okay, done. So this is a string thing, got stored in a variable called a string variable. Now this I want to call here, this variable I am to call here. So what I told, right? Second part, if you want, if you remove the double quotes, then it will be treated as a variable, and that variable should be in string format, s2. So you just remove this and call s here. So s is called here. Now it should not be in double quotes. Remember, the first part is always in double quote, but in second part, when you are calling a variable here, that variable should not be in double quotes. Otherwise, it will be treated as a value. First thing, and plus that variable should be a string variable. Now, since we know that here I have created a variable and I have pushed, I have stored a string in this variable. So JMeter already has assigned this variable as a string variable, and you can directly call this s here. And now if you see, uh, so what I'll tell, so s is getting called here, so indirectly this value will be called here, and that value will be stored in this E. So in E, what will be stored? Hello, I am JMeter, and if I run this, see, hello, I am JMeter. Okay, So same way, let us say we can use two variable also. Suppose we can combine two variables also, Jojo s1 s2 equal to Bean. Here we put s1 plus s2 like that. Suppose you have done two operation and you want to call both value here, so that both values should be concatenated and stored here. Same way we can do. So here Jojo will be called here, Bean will be called, both will be concatenated and joined and will be stored in this E, and this E we are calling outside, so output will be Jojo Bean. Okay, Jojo Bean. Fine. Now problem is here, A equal to 2, and here I am calling A, and as usual what will happen? A is getting called here. What is the value of A? 2. So 2 will be called here. 2 will be stored in E. The E we are calling outside. So here 2 should be printed, but no, it will throw error. You will see here on right hand side corner one error will come. Okay. Here. Let me shall I delete this? Okay. Not an issue. It is as it is, plus one error came. If you want to read that, go here and search for that line called error. This is how we read error in this log viewer, right? And this log viewer is very important. It plays very important role when we write some code. Why it is important, I'll tell. Now you just go and try to read something which we cannot understand. So what is the problem here is, that is the drawback of this IDE. This IDE is very poor. Either you say JSR223 or the sampler. This ID is very ID, you know, right, where we write some code. So in market, whenever we write some programming code, many ID are there where they are very useful, right? They will tell you tips when you are doing some wrong thing. They will tell you at that time only, correct? Nowadays very advanced IDs are there, but this ID is very poor. Okay, very poor in terms of feature. Here we have done one mistake. It is not telling us what mistake we made. First thing. Second thing, error message it has thrown. And if you want to read the error message as usual, right, as I said, we have to open the log viewer and go to error and try to read here something. If you know a little bit programming, or if you have done at least core Java course, you will understand some stuff. Otherwise you cannot understand what it is saying, because that is not human readable. Okay, the error message that it's saying is not directly human readable. Means like how the normal ID nowadays they say like you have missed something like this, right? Very advanced IDs nowadays they are there. So this is not human readable. So this is drawback. Okay, this is the biggest drawback of this ID. Fine. Now what error we have done here, that we have to think. Okay, so error we have done here is what I told. Here it accepts string variable. Fine, string variable. And what you are passing here, it's an integer variable, int variable. How it's int variable? A equal to 2. Automatically, as I said, JMeter will identify this as an integer, and you are calling integer variable. It will not accept. And since it will not accept, it's throwing error. And if you try to read this line, something little bit, you see there, error in method invocation, method put Java language string comma int not found in class this. Okay, means this is integer going over there. String, as usual I said, right? String comma string, it only takes string comma string, right? Or string comma value in double quotes. But here you are passing integer. So since you are passing integer, it will not take, and it will throw an error, right? So then what you have to do is, you have to do one conversion called integer to string conversion. Okay, this is also a part of programming language only. It's very easy. So you understand, first understand this. If any string variable is there, suppose you see here s1 or s2, it is string variable. Directly you can call them. Okay, directly you can call them here. Let me call s1, right? S1. So directly the value of s1 will be called here. It will be stored in E, and when we run this, and that E, whenever we are calling outside, using parameterization, it's printing that, right? Printing that. So not an issue because it's a string variable. But when it is an integer variable and you want to call here, you cannot do directly. Okay, you cannot do directly. It will throw an error. So those integer variables should be converted in a string variable. So what you can do is you can write here b, another, let us say one variable and one a small line. Okay, it's from Java only, not related to JMeter. That line is string dot value of, I think, string dot value of, and call this a, not in double quotes, a, like this, will print to check whether it is working or not. Log dot info value of b equal to plus b, right? Plus b. So this will print the value. We'll see if any error in code here, right? So let us open. Yeah, it worked. Value of b equal to 2, right? It has printed. So before I proceed ahead, remember one thing. This log.info that we are doing is only used to debug the stuff. You can use it many times. Only it is used to debug the stuff. Why? Because just now we have learned that this ID is very poor, and we do not know whether the operation that we are doing is successful or not. So to get that information whether that operation is successful or not, everywhere you can do this log.info to debug, right? Only to debug. So here if you see, let us say I have done a equal to 2, b equal to 3, c equal to a plus b. Now I want to know whether the sum has been done correctly or not, so you can log it, right? Log it. Same way, let us say a equal to 2. Now I'm converting, since it is an integer variable, I have to convert it to string variable. So string dot value of, here I have put a, and that is stored in b. Now b will become an string variable. Now I want to know that this operation has been successfully done or not. So again, you can log it always. So when I'm logging it, it's printing, right? You see value of b is 2. Value of b is 2. Okay, it is printed, means that operation is successful. Now what we have to do is this b you call here, b you call here, and now you run. So what will happen? What is there in b? What was there in 2? Sorry, a 2, right? And that string value of a, which is 2, what is stored in b? Now b is actually a string variable now, and this b you are calling here, say 2 will be called, and this will be stored in e. Now e you are calling outside. So if I run this now, you see 2 will be called there. Correct. So point here is that whenever anything is there in integer format, and then we cannot call it directly here. If they are in string format, then directly we can call. If it is in integer format, we cannot directly call, and we have to convert. So now come back to this operation, right? That a equal to 2, b equal to 3, c equal to a plus b. So this c I need outside. So directly I cannot do. So what I have to do? I have to do vars.put. Correct. Let us disable all these things for now. Okay, what we have to do? We have to do vars.put here. Fine. Now this c I'll be calling here. This is one variable which I have used outside. Now this c we need here. But can we call this c here? No. Why? Because these all are integer. Int a, int b, int c. Integer operation has been done. It will throw error. Okay, again you see, if you see, nothing will happen, and it has thrown that error, same error. Right. So what we have to do is, after this, first you log if you wish to know the value of c. Right. You can log. Then you do the conversion. Here you put c. Here let us put d. And this d now you call. And now before you move ahead, just log, right, to verify that whether the conversion has happened or not. So copy and put it here. Value of d equal to d. So just run to check before we put that in vars.put. Okay. So value of c is 5, value of d is 5. Fine, it's working fine. Now the d we will be calling here. D. So now what is happening, this operation value which is holding 5 will be called here, and that will be assigned in E, and this E we can if we run, we'll see that value being called. Okay, so this is the importance of was.put. Very important thing. Why it will be used? Remember, any operation you do here, whatever the value that after doing that operation, some value will be there that you need in subsequent request. So directly you cannot call. You have to use this was.put. And how to use this was.put? This is the whole. That is what we have discussed, right? And was.put always take two part. One first part is a string variable, which will be in double quote. Second will be a value. When you give anything in double quote, that will be treated as value. But if you do not give double quote, that will be a variable, and that should be a string variable, right? A string variable. If you have done any integer operation, you have to convert that integer operation or that integer variable to a string variable using this simple line, very small line. Okay, and that will be converted, and that variable you can utilize here, and this value will be stored here, and you can call out, right? But if it was a string operation, let us say s1 or s2, right, as I said, so s1 s2 we can directly call because they are string variable. They are what? String variable. So directly we can call. This conversion statement is not required, right? Now one more thing before we go. Instead of creating so many unnecessary variable, right, what we can do is we can use same variable. That also very much possible. Instead of doing here d, put c here. Here if you want to log, put value of c equal to here plus c, and here also you put c, here also you put c, and here when you are calling, put cc. Okay, same thing. It works. This is called a smart creating of variables, because we have seen in heap section, right, heap size setting section, that more variable you use in your script, more memory it will consume. So why not to reduce the variable extra creation of variables, right? So this thing we can do. This part of smart programming only, where c equal to a plus b. Now you are putting in C itself the string value of C only, correct? That is very much possible. And in was.put also, the first part you can give C, and second part also you can give C. Okay, everywhere CC you can put. C means any variable, same variable you can utilize. Because we have seen one thing, right? A equal to 10, and after some time if a equal to 20, so which is the latest value of a in the memory, the last operation, right? So that's why after each step the value of c will get updated, right? Updated. Here it will store 5, here it get converted in a string, right? Here that is called, and that is stored here. Okay, so that is what programming is, and it's working here, right? It's working here. And unnecessary, we should not create unnecessary variable like here d, then here e, not required. Okay, that this also we can do. First thing. Second thing, log.info, as I said, only used for debugging purpose. And when you have understood that your code is working now, uncomment, okay, comment out all the log statement. You can just put double slash, it will become green color, means commented. Let us say my code is working and this is working fine, so after that you can comment out this line. Why to comment out? Because whenever you are running for 1000 user or 10,000 users, remember, unnecessary this log.info is going to print those things in log viewer here. I will say in non-GUI mode, if we run, then also it's printing. Yeah, then also it's printing. Where we can see that in that JMeter log file, which is there in the bean directory, right? Where whenever you run a test, the JMeter related logs will be there, and obviously you will see here JMeter log, right? The same log which we are running will be here. Okay, so if you run in non-GUI mode also, here you see these things are all coming, what we were doing here. So whenever you are running in non-GUI mode also, unnecessary this line statement will be printing the thing, and obviously this is going to take extra processing, right? So these are the way where we can reduce the processing of JMeter if we have to reduce. Why to unnecessary print here, right? This is only used for debugging, to debug your code. Once your code is working, then you should always comment them unnecessary until unless it is very much required. Okay, sometimes it can required to print the value in log viewer, but I do not feel I think it's not required. Okay, so you can always uncomment, always comment them, because for n number of users when you are running, it will keep. Let us say you are running for 1,000 users, so 1,000 time it will print this, and it is increasing the processing only, right? Processing only. Only for debugging it's required. First thing. Second thing, this conversion. Actually, I do not have also a exact answer for this why it is needed, but yeah, these concepts are there in programming also. Okay, this string to integer conversion, integer to string conversion, this is we have to follow. Actually, you'll see here nothing changed, right? What is the value of c here? 5. After doing here, now what is the value of c here? Still 5 only. But what this is conversion doing? In real time we cannot see anything what it is doing, but something it is doing in terms of the syntax that has been written in the packages. Okay, in the packages, so this conversion will be required. Okay, these conversions are required. Okay, this conversion had not done anything in real time, like a value is always 5 only, but something it has done from the programming perspective. Okay, so this was an integer variable, now it has been converted to string variable, and here it accepts only string only. So like this conversion statement is required. Okay, so more I do not have more inputs. I asked some developer friend, they do not have also same I mean the exact answer. Like I also got confused what is happening here, a specialty. If you see, right, the c value is 5 only, which is a number. Here also 5. So when I'm calling this c directly, I cannot call. Why this conversion? What is special it is doing, right? Okay, so no answer for that, but these things are required. And yeah, from programming perspective. Okay, so any integer operation, first it should be converted in a string variable, and then you should call here, and then that will be called outside. But if it was a string operation, then there was no need of this conversion statement. Directly you can call them. Directly you can call them. And remember, this always accept two string. First is s1, which will be in string format, and second one is a value if you are given in double quotes. If you are not given double quotes, then it's a string, a variable. It's a string variable. Okay, so that is for today's session. Thank you.